back to the Berg Podcast. Thanks for joining us today. With me today is Ford.
Hey, how's it going?
And Dan.
Hey, everybody.
And it is Christmas. It's the week of Christmas, and we are celebrating. And it feels like one of those things we talk about. We talk about it for weeks at a time. You know, Thanksgiving transitions right into Christmas, and it comes every year, but it always feels like these last few days, last week or so leading up to Christmas just seem to kind of really fly by.
They disappear. The weather gets unique, and I think it's because you have so much to do. Literally, it's just, I mean, if you get through a week and then, a lot of stuff goes on our calendar now. So you look back at the calendar and you're like, there wasn't a single day that there wasn't something going on. So I think that, and then, usually out as a procrastinating male, December 24th is usually a pretty good day to get gifts. And then the 23rd is being ahead of time and, something like that. So you got those last couple of days, you got to kind of.
So you're right on
get a few
schedule.
Things
That's what you're saying.
Oh no, mine were done on the 11th. So I don't know. I was a little concerned about some scheduling issues, so I just jumped the gun a little bit.
Okay, nice.
My bigger concern is right now is that I have a couple things that the return policies are getting tighter than they used to be.
Oh yeah. So if it's not the right color,
size, fit, yes, that could be an issue because I don't have a big window there to be able to get that. It used to be I think during COVID, your return policy was what? Infinity and beyond, basically.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies are kind of going all right, enough with this, maybe 30 days max or whatever it is. And so it's, you got to kind of calibrate that into your schedule when you're buying stuff.
Yeah. Same. We actually, Christmas is a kind of a mix of practical things and desired things for our kids. And so one of our kids needed a new pair of cleats anyways, so good timing for a Christmas gift. But I was like, what size do you wear? And got kind of a wishy-washy answer, so I was just whatever, I'm guessing. We got to return it. We return it.
Add a half a size and just go ahead and order them.
yeah, exactly. But no, I know exactly what you mean with the return window thing there, because that was in my head. I was like, did I buy them too early? Do we still have time? So,
and we talked about it previously on a different, but I don't return anything. I just don't.
Personally, I'm so terrible at it.
I'll keep it and store it or donate it or something. But this whole return game where people order 20 things and keep one and return 19. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I don't return anything for me personally, but I am the designated return person.
And now you actually print it out, or you're just the guy that has to take it to the mail and make sure it goes away?
Oh, well, if you're mailing it, Aaron will do it.
Oh, okay.
But if there's got to have to be an argument in the store, Aaron sends me. That's when my soft skills come in, that she says I can, return anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is that a thing? Do you get into?
Well, not an argument, but I just be convincing. I mean, around
it's 31 days. I think if you
it's not usually the date. It's usually that Aaron doesn't have a receipt for anything. So she'll like right now she has. She just showed it to me yesterday at Thanksgiving. She had bought she made her own cranberry sauce. We talked about that, but she also has canned cranberry sauce, and she had 10 cans apparently, and one of them was bad. So I told her, and that's fine. This can sitting on the counter. And yesterday she said, "Hey, just remember, I want you to go return this can." And I was like, "So what?" And she said, "Yeah, take it back to Wegmans and return it and just get another one because it was bad." And I was like, "But we don't have the receipt." She was like, and so then she referenced a different time. She was like, "Well, that didn't stop you from getting it when it was a watermelon." She bought a watermelon that was bad.
Wait, one can of cranberry sauce?
Yes, it was organic. So I'm not getting into it, bro.
Okay. No, it's okay. I mean,
better you than me, because I would just put it in the back of the car and take it to the first dumpster.
Sure,
here's your 89 cents.
See, but I make it a competition. Could I do it? Right?
I'm going to spend $12 in fuel to go to Wegmans.
I did. Well, that's why it's sitting there. She needs me to be going to Wegmans, but it's never happened.
Yeah.
But she said her reference was a watermelon.
A new one. And
yeah.
I'm like, yep, I'll take care of getting you another can of cranberry sauce.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't need one. But her reference is that she said, "I need you to return a watermelon that was bad." I was like, "What? Well, where's the watermelon?" She said it was bad, so I threw it away. I was like, "Well, where's the receipt?" She was like, "I don't have it." I was like, "Okay, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah. You want me to go to Wegmans?"
Yes.
And get a replacement watermelon for a watermelon that I have neither the receipt nor the watermelon.
Nor the proof of it.
She said yes. And I was like, all right, well, if we happen to be at Wegmans, so we're at Wegmans one day, the girls and I, and they were like, "Hey, remember Mom said you got to try and get that exchange for the watermelon." And I was like, "Girls, how can I get someone to exchange something that I neither have proof that I purchased it, nor the thing.
Right. Yeah.
And they were like, so you can't do it. And I was like, well, I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying it's ridiculous. How am I going to return nothing? And they were like, I mean, if you can't, they like played Erin, like, well, if you can't do it, you can't do it. And I was like, fine, we'll give it a shot. So Mara and I walk up to the counter and I like explain the situation. And I turn around and Mara's gone. And
She's
I'm
like,
what?
I want no part of this.
Right. And so she's gone. So the lady's like, okay, well, just get a watermelon and you're good. And I was like, do I need to bring it back to you? She was like, no, you can just go. And I was like, okay, so just go get a watermelon, walk out of the store. And she said, yes. I said, okay. And so I go to walk away. Mara was hiding around the corner. I was like, where did you go? She was like, oh, I didn't want to be a part of this at all. She was like, that was embarrassing.
Well,
so if there has to be a discussion about a lack of receipts, but now Erin, with online that Erin and I believe like Target, everything is housed in her Target app.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to have the receipts.
Now you don't need receipts.
There.
You just need the Target app. But
yeah, I don't.
I feel like Brian would definitely not do that. Ford 100% would not do it.
No, I'm not.
Ford could have had like 50 watermelons, and he'd been like, "Well, that's just unfortunate."
Yeah,
just bought a bad one.
Yeah. That would have been a rough one for me to acknowledge and do.
Yeah,
sure. So.
That's we each do different things.
It's okay. Yeah, hey,
things you find fun in life. It's
it wasn't fun. I was amused that I got a watermelon that I could convince the lady, but that's.
And I mean, like I don't know. Maybe that says something about your level of commitment to Erin's desires here.
Well, so we talk about it, right? That like different things. Like Erin is a acts of service.
Yeah.
What's that? The love language thing. Like she gets not thrilled when I say it.
Sure.
But it's the truth. Like Erin would much rather you like think to clean up the garage than she would like me buy her a box of chocolates.
Yeah, that's which is tough. I mean, I struggle with that. So that is difficult. It's takes time. So.
It takes forethought and time. It's much easier to just go buy things. But Christmas is amazing with her because she wants to make it like magical. It'll be interesting when the girls are older. Right. But that's her thing. She wants it to be magical. A couple of the things that were going to be kind of the magical things we already gave them.
Okay.
We did they got an like
tetherball.
The tetherball.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
magical.
Yeah.
For the tetherball, you have to see. I almost videoed it again. You have to see it. I put an 80-pound concrete block in the ground. I dug a hole, put 80 pounds of concrete in the ground. They moved the concrete. The concrete is now rocking in the ground that's frozen.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. They are so wild. They wanted me to play with them, and on Sunday I was feeling better, so I said, okay, fine. I will play tetherball with you. I tried to explain the rules. They told me the rules don't make any sense. And I was like, you're standing way too quick. I tried it. It didn't work. They refused to play one-on-one.
Right.
So it was 2v2 now. It was me and Nora. Nora's serve looks like there's like a medieval like weapon that was like a ball with spikes on a chain on a stick, and he like swung it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nora grabs the ball on the rope about 18 inches to 2 foot from the ball. She then whips it as fast as she can and does a 360 and flings it. Now, when she gets a good spin on it, it's about the best tetherball serve you've ever seen, and it may likely kill her sisters. But she often hits the post. And then the ball ricochets and knocks her off her feet.
Yeah.
Because she hits herself in the head with the ball. Her sisters, Charlotte's pretty good at hitting it with her hands. Mara, not very good at hitting it with her hands. But I was playing and I hit the ball to them. I was expecting it to come back in the direction that I sent it. I hit it to the left. It was going to come back from that direction. Mara bicycle kicked it. And it hit me directly in the face. I was opposite her, and Erin was like, well, how did it hit you? I was like, well, because I was facing like left, expecting to hit a ball that was going to be coming around the post. Right. And all of a sudden, at full speed, she kicked it right at me. And luckily, I was far enough out that it like just contacted my face. It didn't like absolutely crush me.
Sure.
But they lay on the ground. They think it's hilarious. I mean, there was multiple injuries again, but can we play tetherball again? I'm like, okay, that's not tetherball.
Right.
Now they call it kicker ball or something. They've made up a new name and they want other people to play, which is a bad idea.
Murder ball.
Yeah. Like honestly, like if Savannah came over, I'd be like, no, she can't play.
Here's the one thing I think that this sounds very memorable. And I think that in like 20 years, right, maybe they'll be at that age, and they'll be like, "Do you remember when we did this?" Now the question will be, will there still be a tetherball? Because then they'll go out and murder each other at an older age, or will it just be like that story? You know what I mean? Because now every day everything's on video, so like there is none of that quite reminiscing.
Yeah, the
way
reminiscent
there was.
isn't the same.
No, I mean, because you can't massage the story at all, because everyone's got proof of exactly what happened before. You can kind of turn it into a. I went to school and walked uphill both ways and barefoot. That kind of falls apart when
you have video.
Yeah.
Well, and I said to Aaron as I was watching it, I was like, it's what I love about our kids. They're like 80s kids. Like they're still, they go outside and whatever happens out there happens. They don't come in and complain about each other, injuring each other. Yeah. So they had that. They also had that snow gun that I was able to build. So now we can blow snow anytime it's below like 21. They can blow snow outside. And now they have this little tiny
ice. Is that the threshold, 21? Like that's...
There's some wet bulb temperature thing. You can do it higher, but you have to increase the airflow or mess with the water pressure up or down. I forget. I haven't figured that out, but I also don't need to. Yeah. So the left side of my yard is a skating rink down a hill. Then there's the tetherball, and then on the right side is an actual little skating rink that we built.
So I'm just, you built this thing and you got it going, but I'm just envisioning in my head that at some point you're going to say, hey, I got to leave work for a couple of days. I'm going to be driving to Vermont to buy like an old snow machine off of a mountain. Or like when you go up, you go up skiing and there's like one beside the road.
Facebook
and you're like,
Marketplace.
How do I get that shipped back? Because like you did this and this is like this really cool thing and you started it, but like, how does it go uphill from here?
So I actually think the way that this goes uphill has nothing to do with me. And what I'm hoping is I started something that will take care of itself. Tom Berg wants to be able to blow snow in his yard for the kids to sled.
Oh, okay.
And so when I told him about it, he was like, he had all kinds of ideas. And I was like, okay, well, and so now, unfortunately, he doesn't like look at his texts when I send him video. He doesn't even click on that. So I'm going to have to like show it to him when I see him. But now that I've done it, he can just upsize it. And he could use like a compressor, which somewhere in that yard is a compressor.
Or three.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like something he can pull off of.
And
like
he's got the
piece of
pond.
equipment.
Right? Because that's the limiting factors, right? You start to...
How much moisture
can you put? Well, he's got a pump. So he's got that big trash pump and he's got a pond.
Yeah.
So he could be at like a ski resort if he wanted to. And then I could see him using the fan style with the big fan blowing.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't think it's me. I think it's Tom. And I think then we just go to Tom's house. That's what I think.
You can duplicate it. Maybe,
but just he's got to upsize it. I have a small one. I have like the neighborhood snow gun. Right? Tom's going to do it on Tom Berg size. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're going to need a 51 over there for a week to get the trail built in.
Get the 5 over there. You know what I mean? Grade that thing off. Yeah, he's probably got a snowcat back there. He might. You never know.
Might have something.
He's got those
holders.
The old holders. I bet you could do it with the holder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See? There's a plan.
Back there.
Mount Berg over there.
Yeah.
You have a little toe.
They live on the side of a hill anyway, so what difference does it make?
I mean, that's what my cousins have said. We want you to we want to watch you put a lift in on the side of your house, like a little tow rope, just running on a small motor, like because you can run it on like a 5.
The whole point of this is to get the children tired,
drag them up.
You don't want to make it easier for them.
Well, and we have the big LL Bean sleds. I just don't have the big enough yard. Yeah. So one of my buddies has a yard. He's sort of in a development, but he's like one of the developments has like 5 acres every lot. And his neighbor has like 25, and there's 3 basins that are always dry that drop to each other. And so he has videos of the kids sledding down, and they build the ramp out of a 4x8 sheet of plywood. Like he said, like he said, like your kids can sled here, but not other kids because they're going to get injured. So, but talking about it when you're older, I am not a reality TV person. I don't like watch it. But I saw an ad that I laughed out loud when I saw it. There's some new show going to come out called Extract. Have you seen this? Any of the ads for this?
I have not.
No. Okay. So the principle of this, right? And this is not Christmas, but the principle of this as siblings, as like a family, right? You got to have 3-4 siblings, is that one of your siblings gets put on this deserted island with no food, no shelter. And they have to survive a certain amount of time that I don't know what it is. If they do, you get $250,000. But the only way they get off the island is the other siblings are in a room watching and listening to what happens to them. And they have to hit an extract button and then they go get them and save them. Not the siblings, someone saves them.
Oh.
So there are people on the island ready to save the people. But in theory, the way they showed it in the one commercial, there's like a bear outside the guy's tent because he left his food out. And so they have to decide if they extract them. And I laughed out loud because I was like, could you imagine, and make it you with your siblings. One of your siblings ends up on an island. you probably that you would make it you, right? Which is what Erin did. She was like, your siblings would definitely say you have to be on the island. I wanted to make it my youngest brother, right? But in the video, there's a family, and the sister's like, they're like, we got to extract Bobby, and the guy goes and like grabs the camera, puts his face in it, and yells, "Extract me!" And the sister's like, "Oh hell no!" And I was like, you could just see like a family like, big crybaby. We're not extracting you.
No, you're so good.
You can get us $250,000. You better figure this out. And I was like, it's a funny idea of like, it takes you back to your childhood and when you would like just be together, being kids, playing, and like just have to deal with it yourself, like figure it out.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, Brian.
You both
have well enough.
You both have young families, though, so young kids. So I kind of get the whole like try to make it magical, right? For little kids, it's still an event. It's still like fun. There's still some mystery. So I definitely get that. With older kids, we sort of lose a little bit of that. But we're definitely at the point like with older kids where it's a lot of fun just to have them back in the house. So like, our oldest two away at school. So Gavin, this is the first time in like 3 years he's been in the house for more than like 2 or 3 days, probably just because of schedule and classes and ROTC and everything else he's got going on. So, he's home for like 30 days. He's like, I'm on break. ROTC's off. I'm coming home. And,
so did they get anything fun?
Did they get anything fun?
Yeah. It's not gonna. This isn't.
Well,
oh wait,
problem.
you know what? We can't do
talk
this.
about
we can't talk. I just realized we can't talk about it. I was going to say they're not going to hear it until. I was going to say they're not going to hear it, but Aiden's going to do the editing. So Brian, forget it.
Yeah. No. We got them some things that they'll want, and I think be excited to have. Nothing like. I don't think there's anything that's really going to like catch them way off guard. Unfortunately, that's always fun.
Yeah.
But nothing quite.
How about you,
that
Ford?
nature.
What's that?
Anything fun that's going to surprise them? They're going to be like, whoa.
I don't know. I mean, they're at that age where they might enjoy the box more than the gift. You never know. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you get all these things and you're like, oh, this is cool. But like,
you're going to have so much fun at my kids' age.
Yeah,
like,
well, they could be a little closer. But the best part
10.
was, the other night, one of our neighbors dropped off some presents for the girls. And so we let them open those gifts ahead of time. And so mom's taping it so that she could send a video to the neighbors, like whatever. And Savannah goes, "Oh, this is perfect. It's just what I wanted." Unscripted. Like we didn't tell her to say anything, whatever. And I'm just dying of laughter because I'm like, this feels like,
feels fake.
It feels fake because what little kid like opens up this little present, which was very nice, but it was just this whole thing. I just died of laughter because I'm like, did you tell her to say that? Because like, what do you expect? Like a kid to open it up and be like, what is this? Or, some type of thing. But we've been doing the 24-day book, Advent book instead of like the Advent gifts.
Oh, cool.
And every day we get to open a book.
Tetherball
No tetherball.
All right, well.
But no, they're figuring it out what this whole thing is, and so it's unique to see that. But it's amazing how many tchotchkes or events. So like Saturday, we went on a train ride with like a Santa train ride or something, right? Yeah. And like as an adult, you kind of have to catch yourself every once in a while because you're just kind of like, this is completely ridiculous.
And like a lot of it feels like a money grab,
contrived, like
right?
Yes,
and you gotta, like, for me at times, especially when the kids were younger, I gotta remember like it's fun for them.
They're not seeing the money part of it. They're just seeing this cool ride, and I'm going like, we paid how much to sit on a what and get what? Like this is ridiculous.
For
but
sure.
Like to them, they talk about it for a couple of days. You're like, okay, cool, but you're just kind of sitting there like, really? Are we these shoobs that are doing this? Like, I thought this was for like tourists. Like, what are we doing this?
Can you
kind
have
of stuff?
shoobs out here?
Well, I didn't think of another polite word.
We gotta have another polite word.
Yeah, for people that like like. Well, there's
shoobs that are out here, but that's a different issue.
No, but we just went to the, we did like the fall. I think we talked about we went to go to like the orchard to go apple picking. I'm like, we live out here. Like, we don't do that. That's for people that come from like the city.
I get it.
But it's stuff you do that you have to like kind of, it's amazing how many times you have to like kind of catch yourself and just be like, all right, like I have to see it through their eyes, not through my eyes, and then I can make it enjoyable for the family.
Yeah.
But no, the last couple, we talk about it every year, and it's just like, everybody's in a good mood for the most part. You go to Wawa or something, and someone holds the door open for you, or it's just a more genteel time because most people are in a more positive mode, and it just makes it for more fun. Friday we had the luncheon with the whole team, and everybody's there. We're so, as I always say, so not broken up. Like we're so many teams are all over the place that like we don't get to see everybody in a room on a lot of times. So it's just nice to see everybody, have some good food, see people chatting and talking to each other that maybe don't get to see each other on a daily basis and stuff like that. So those are the kind of things that like are really neat. It's just one of those that like, you're in the middle. Like I think there's something I've been catching myself a lot of, just being like, I'm somewhere between like over it, but I have to keep like keeping myself in it because like it's, by the time you hear this, it's over. Like that's the reality of it. But sometimes when you're in the middle of it, you're just like counting down the days till it's over just because of how much stuff is going on.
Yeah, we have I feel like age-wise, when you go through the spectrum, like when the kids are really, really young, it's exciting because they don't even know what's going on. And they do like the box more than the thing. And then you get older. I was the oldest, so I remember when like we got older and we like grew out of it. But I feel like my kids are like right in the middle in that like sweet spot of age where they get it, but they also really enjoy it. And then they start to care about the process more than the gifts, and it's what I felt worst about me getting sick and then taking out, I took out, I think 4 parties at our house. We had parties like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All of them had to be canceled. It was a mess. It was bad. So everybody is not necessarily real happy at my house right now because they're sick and their parties got shot down. But I think Erin has done it again. I mean, there's a few things she has that the girls are just going to be so shocked that Erin, that however we word it, whether it's, we're really trying to push to like Santa gives them 1 or 2 presents and then the rest come from us. Mm-hmm. But I think the clincher is sitting in my in my office. I think, you know what I mean? I think, I never got a motorcycle for Christmas. You know what I mean? So they're going to get a little dirt bike for Christmas. My yard is going to be trashed they're going to wake
Your
up.
HOA is going to have an issue with
you.
you.
They're going to rip down. I don't think I can let it on the street to start with because they've never ridden a motorcycle. You know what I mean? So like, I'm a little bit afraid that if they drop it, they'll get hurt. Sort of like with the go-kart when they blew out of the go-kart when they first got it. So I think I have to let them run it through the yard. But yeah, if I do, they're going to wreck that yard real quickly. We're going to be reseeding. But I think it's one of the cooler things, like we're getting to the age where we could give them fun things, things that I think would be fun.
Yeah. Well, but like Brian was talking about, actually I had a different question tied to it, but like traditions, like you said, isn't it Christmas Eve or is it Christmas Day you get the Chinese food? Or what is it?
We do, generally Christmas Eve we do tamales.
Okay.
Not Chinese, tamales. Yeah.
But like you have these things and like they're more distinct than like the gifts are what they are. They're lovely and they're appreciated. But like
we do,
like you're saying, like, you're getting to the events where like the event, like they're not going to miss that meal because it means more than the food. The food could be whatever it is.
Well, the girls are so upset. That was this morning's like breakdown. Was they realized that I'm not going to let any of us go to Lavagiles. So that's like Italian Catholic, the vigil the night before. 7 fishes, and we go there every year. Some of them have missed 1 year. Somebody was sick and Erin had to stay home. But I just said right now, I don't even know who's sick. Like, I mean, I'm all right, but I'm not great.
Sure.
Mara's definitely sick. Nora's seems okay, but she's recovering. Charlotte is not sick, but we don't know. You know what I mean? So I can't. There's too many people there that are over 65 years old. I can't take out everybody and every cousin of mine. Yeah. So I can't. So they're really bent out of shape about that.
You just got to cook it at home. You know? Because I was thinking about that too. Like part of that is with the traditions. Like, how do you determine at what point does it need to be changed? Right? I mean, a tradition is a tradition.
I mean, I'm there
but
now.
Like at some point, you just have to like.
But I can
identify that it needs to go away. Like it's okay. That time is over.
Sure.
Let's try a new one.
Right. It doesn't necessarily make sense anymore.
Right. It can be the same but different. Erin and I talked about it this morning, and I said. We're fortunate with our team, with how they interact and how they are. So Dylan Clemens brings me tuna now and again when he goes fishing if he catches enough. So we have some that he flash froze and gave it to me. We ate most of it, but we have enough left that I think just the 5 of us could have tuna and then something else. So Erin said, "What do you want to do about dinner tomorrow night because we didn't have any plan for dinner tomorrow night. I should be in Jersey. And so I said, well, what if I got tuna? And she was like, well, we have tuna. I was like, okay. I was like, so I can make that. And one of the pastas they make, like, try and be similar, but I'm not going through and making 7 fishes. That's not happening. I mean, I don't even eat fish. It doesn't even make any sense. But we'll see. Then I got to hope we hold it together because we always host a few people on Christmas Day for dinner. So I got like a 9-pound rib roast. I mean, I'll eat it. It's not a problem. But
Protein Central.
I mean, if you're not afraid of getting the flu, I guess you can come over.
Come on over.
We'll see if my brother Mike decides to risk it or not. He's double income, no kids. I feel like he's gonna be a little nervous about it.
Mask it up, right? Maybe
I think he'll be sending you a picture from Tahiti or something.
I think he might have an emergency trip he has to take or something.
Yeah. No, I just think about that. Like, so much of Christmas is tradition based.
Yeah.
And so much of it's wonderful tradition, but like times change, people's schedules change, and you just try and wonder like what things are worth fighting for to hang on to, and which things do you have to accept that they're just not going to be the same as what you remember them or whatever the scenarios are. And you're always trying to balance those things because you're like, all right, this particular thing right here, I'm fighting till my last dying breath to keep this tradition in place.
You know what I struggle with that really with is Christmas Day.
Oh,
that in my head, once we reach a point where the kids are a little older, I really think I'd want to go away. I really think I would leave probably Christmas Day. Maybe I'd stay Christmas Day, but in a perfect world, we all love to ski. Like, I'll take my kids, we'll go skiing. Like, that'll be my present. It's, we go take a ski trip, we're all together. It's like similar but different, but I don't want to like steal from them that you wake up Christmas morning, like, Erin makes cinnamon buns every Christmas morning. She's going to make cinnamon buns. Like, certain things are going to happen. And they become the girls' traditions, So, but in my own head, I'm like, okay, but we could just, instead of buying like a bunch of tchotchkes, right? Or, or even like, I'm going to buy them the cleats that they have to get. You know what I mean? So, but would we go do something? Because I really am big on that with like experiences, like, because you'll remember.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what I struggle with is, do I keep Christmas Eve and Christmas Day what it is and then go skiing? Or do I just say, we're going to wash the whole thing? We're leaving on the 23rd every year, 24th every year. And we're going to ski from the 24th to the 1st.
Yeah.
Somewhere that I know there'll be snow, get far enough away, there's snow.
Part of it for our family is always like the family piece of it. So like doing things with loved ones.
Your extended
family.
So,
yeah. And it has gotten hard. So like, we used to always have something similar on Christmas Eve. And then it was like the 22nd or the 23rd, just because my brother lives a couple hours away. My sister and her husband, and sometimes they've got some kid events and got to get kids to different places and things like that. So it just became like challenging. And so I don't even know how many years it's been, but we still do like some semblance of those things when and if possible. But for like, maybe the last 5-6+ years, like our family now is like, all right, well, like we'll designate Christmas Day. Like we're going to do our Christmas personal things in the morning, go to my parents in the afternoon in hopes that everyone can kind of gather at my parents' house. But for Christmas Eve now, we'll if people are available, great, we'll get together, we'll do dinner. But we're going to go almost every year now. We go to see a movie. And it's just like become kind of like our thing. Like we, like, the 5 of us, if the kids bring a friend or a girlfriend or whatever that happens to also not have Christmas Eve plans, great, that's fine. But that's
what movie are you going to see? Do you know yet?
Yeah, so we're going to go see Mufasa, the new
Lion King,
like Lion King prequel, I think is, sometimes. Well, so this year is a little different in that. So it's funny. So we started this, I don't know, 5-6 years ago because it was like our version of like, we just had a random Christmas Eve available. Like, well, what are we gonna do? It's like, well, the 5 of us, we're gonna have dinner and we're all home. Let's go do something together. And a movie was easy because a lot of stuff might not be open on Christmas Eve, right?
Yep.
Last year, everyone was kind of like, hey, all of our plans are kind of falling through. Can we come to the movies with you? Which was cool. So this year, again, everyone's like, are we going to go to the movies again? So like our thing has kind of become everyone's thing, which is neat. So this year we're going to see the Mufasa movie because there's going to be some little ones involved, and some of the other movies may not have been right for all ages.
Yeah.
But
well, and you know what I struggle with that, and it really harps on that. What do you like keep and what do you let go?
Yeah,
is Lavageel is a really cool thing. I am not that Catholic religious. You know what I mean? I'm just not.
Sure.
But it's a lot of work. Like we host Thanksgiving and I want to, you know what I mean? I would have people at my house on Christmas Day. If they wanted to come over Christmas night and have dinner, I'd probably try and talk Aaron to letting a lot of people be at my house Christmas night. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it creates memories, it creates family, all those things. But I just feel like Christmas Eve would be so much work to host. And that's, and the funny part is I say that knowing that even with the young kids, we always drove 2 hours away, stayed there until 10 o'clock at night, drove 2 hours home, and then dealt with Christmas from midnight on.
Right.
You know, like, and I still think that is easier than trying to have all those people at your house the night before you try and have Christmas.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
interesting.
So I struggle with that one because normally, like there's an old Burt Reynolds skit on Saturday Night Live, and like, I got that. Yeah, I got that. Like, you could say almost any holiday, can we have it at Dan's house? And I would say yes. Like, because I feel like I am fortunate enough that I can provide the house, and Erin is an amazing cook and baker, so she can make whatever we're gonna make. You know, so I'm always inclined to host because I feel like it's the right thing to do for the role in my family. But Christmas Eve is always just one that I'm like, God, that'd be like a lot to have to do that.
Right.
You know, so.
I was watching something the other day, and they were talking about it's a pork dish in Mexico, and they literally bury the pork in the ground and cook it for 8 to 12 hours.
I've seen that.
Right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I was just thinking about how, like, I don't know if as we get older we notice it more, but you think about the amount of time and effort the moms and the dads or whoever the people that are the cooking the food are. But the amount of time that you said, you know, your acts of service, but like they're really spending those hours putting in the effort that like all of a sudden magically, you know, as a kid, food just showed up on a plate, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't really, you know, you laugh, you like, you know, the old stories. It was, you know, it's not my story, but you laugh about it, like, you know, you try and sneak into the kitchen and there's like 2 grandmoms, a sister, and an aunt working all day long, and they're like trying to steal food and they're slapping your hand. Like that's the kind of the vision.
You out, right?
Exactly.
Even with my family, like I don't know if that, you know, I don't think any of you do it, but in other words, they would always get terminates, and terminates in the city. That is not easy to get on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
There's been ways now you can work around it, which I'm not going to say what they are, but you spend some money and buy some certain things, and it gets you around the line. But I mean, I can remember on Christmas Eve as like a tradition that used to happen that we would go and you'd stand in line for 5 hours. I mean, I would probably eat a dozen cannolis before I got to buy cannolis because it would wrap like through the store, then through the kitchen, then out the back, and then through their parking lot and down the street. And when you finally got in the building, they'd be making them. And if they broke one, they'd hand you a piece.
Yeah.
You know, and you'd work. And it was this whole process. And by the end, like you knew that you had just spent 4 hours with everybody around you. You knew who they were, you know, and like we would get there. And a lot of times it would be me and my brother and my uncle. And my Uncle Joe would stay in line, and then me and my brother would walk and get cheesesteaks and then bring back, and we'd be eating cheesesteaks in the morning because you got to be there early because you're, you know, so you'd be there early in the morning. And it's like, that's the thing that's going, we still have terminates. Like my brother will pick it up. But that's another one of those things you think about. That's not even them standing there. When I go really far back in my life, one of the probably oddest, as you were talking, I just thought about it, that I remembered is my grandma, great grandma, who was like the matriarch of that family in Medford. And they had chestnut trees, and they would roast chestnuts on these giant barrels on fire. And I mean, as a kid, it seemed like a 30-foot fire. You know what I mean? It was probably, and they did like fire. They had some fires out there, but it was a barrel that was just screaming. And then they would put this like metal sort of lid on top of it, and it would cook all these chestnuts. And then they'd have like fresh roasted chestnuts. Like when they say like, you know, chestnuts roasting on an open fire, like that's what they were doing. It was like great lid thing that sort of controlled the fire. But I remember as a kid, the heat that was coming off of that, as you know, and they were all, you know, having drinks, and you know what I mean? It was like you just don't even see it anymore. That level of camaraderie, even as we all get together, like it's not the same. It's a much more muted version of what it was.
There was actually a conversation in my family the other week about, you know, as I was a kid, it felt like we spent a lot of time with our cousins. now they lived closer. I'm not even sure. Maybe it wasn't as much as I thought it was. But as we've grown older, I might see them once a year, twice a year, a couple text messages. And it's just not
the same.
Not the same. But like that's part of this thing is like we have to accept that life has changed. We're all living different lives, we're doing different things, but it's just interesting how like, you know, the family unit, I think now more than ever with holidays is so important because you just don't have that time with them that you might have had before. Like, I mean, I remember being in the front yard at our one house and like playing football or baseball until it was dark, and the dads and moms were sitting there just chatting, like just shooting the breeze. Like, I don't think there was anything important going on. It was just that like, oh, they stopped over and like that was just it wasn't a planned event. It was just we happened to be home. They were driving by and like it just kind of happened. Like those natural occurring or unplanned events just don't happen the way that they used to.
No,
so
I mean,
now it's like when you do plan them, you got to really like make sure that they happen.
Well, and the number of times as a kid, you know, the guys, a lot of times when they talk and they say they're Dan's from Jersey, they have like, everybody has a picture of Jersey, and it's usually either like New York or the beach, right? Or Camden. None of them are good. But that's not what my life in Jersey was. You know, like my great grandmom's property was, I don't know, maybe by the time my uncle bought another piece, it was probably 10 acres by the time it was all said and done. Not huge, but 10 acres, 3 houses on it, big field. And we would go over there. And I remember me and my cousins, like as soon as we got there, and I was the oldest, so I was probably anywhere from like 10 to 14, 15. And as soon as we got there, it was like, okay, what do we do so that it ends up being whenever our parents are going to leave, 10 to midnight, that we can convince them to let us stay here, you know? And that was our goal every time, was to stay at my uncle's house. You know, just get to the point. Let's just nurse this along and we would be outside playing, but we would also not be causing trouble for anybody so that they could have a good time. And like you said, they'd all be in lawn chairs. And I mean, like the number of times I feel like they had a party that had a keg that wasn't planned, right? Like it doesn't even make any sense.
They just kept one on call at the store.
Like they just run to the store, and I knew where the store was. You know what I mean? And they used to send us on our bikes to the liquor store, which was right. It wasn't even an old country road. You ran on like a dirt road. It'd be like riding California road, like we see the guys do now. They'd be like, "Hey, go pick up hoagies and a couple 6-packs," and like 10-year-olds would ride down and buy beer and hoagies and bring them back and by 10 o'clock at night, they'd be like, yeah, if they want to stay, they can stay. And I'd be like, I don't care. They can stay. And be like, yes. Like, you know what I mean?
It worked.
It worked again. You know what I mean? And my uncle was, worked managing a school. And so he doesn't anymore. So probably get him in trouble if I said it then. But in these local schools, he would be like, all right, well, I got to go to work in the morning. And he'd throw us in the bed of his truck and we'd drive to the school, and then he'd have to do some work and we'd just play basketball. We'd get the gym to ourselves. He would just roll all the toys out.
Yeah.
So it was like gym class for us. So then the 4 or 5 of us would be like playing basketball. So when I see my kids play tetherball, to like tie that together, that's when I see it's just them, you know, because there's not as many kids around. And I worry when their friends come over. And their cousin Abby, I love her, but she will get injured every time. Like the first time she plays tetherball, she's going down hard. She's going to get rocked by that tetherball. And then my sister's going to be like, oh, Abby.
She doesn't know the MacArthur rules.
Oh, so, she knows them. Yeah. She really wants to engage in them. She really does. But she is not used to that level of physicality, of intensity that they bring, even though she's, you know, sees it all the time. So it's listen, the holidays are a great time for family. It's a great time to get together with the people you love, the people you care for, and just get out there and appreciate it. You know what I mean? Appreciate because it's fleeting. It's going to be one day you're going to look back and talk about it.
Yeah. And it does. It goes fast. And sometimes we want to rush through it just because of the busyness of the season. But I think it's fun to like sit here and like reflect on it for a couple of minutes, because I think it helps keep in perspective the joy of the season for sure. So that's a good place to wrap it up, I think. So Merry Christmas from us here at Burke Construction. We hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. And we look forward to having you back for another episode.